Steve Magnante here at High Octane Classics with probably the hottest muscle car of the 1980s, the Buick Grand National. These had 330 foot-pounds of Mustang 5-liter stomping torque and 235 horsepower. Doesn't sound like a lot, but these cars were high 13-second performance pretty much right off the showroom floor. And something about 1987 that separates them from 1986 is the way the grille appears. 86, there was a chrome applique here with the word Buick all the way across. 87, the Buick logo went here. Otherwise, there's not a lot to separate the 86 from the 87. But one thing that was different was production. In 1986, 7,800 Grand Nationals were built. In 1987, 27,000 and change. So the world knew that the end of the line was near and they bought the heck out of these cars. But still, with just over 27,000 made, there's not a lot left to go around. And clean ones like this are pretty rare. Let's take a peek under the hood. And then we see, there it is, the mighty 3.8 liter V6. This one has some of the classic aftermarket hop-ups that were common in the day. The Kenny Duttweiler intercooler feed with Duttweiler on it. The Kenny Bell or Kennedy Bell intercooler here, and some things that help to make this go from 235 to maybe 260 or so horsepower. And again, that torque figure of 330 didn't go down because of those changes. So this car is undoubtedly a mid 13-second car right like it sits. One of the ultimate sleepers of all time. It does have the standard 15x7 steel wheels. They've been treated to sort of a smoke chrome finish on top of the factory chrome, no harm done. It is not a T-top car, which actually is okay. The T-tops are known for leaking, causing rust and cracking at the B-pillar, but this one here is a solid roof car, kind of uncommon. Inside it does have the bucket seats and center console. Underneath that floor is the Turbo 200R, which is a 4-speed automatic, of course, beefed for Grand National use. In fact, a lot of IROC Z and other GM drag racers like to scavenge Buick T-Type and Grand National automatics because they have premium parts inside. Now, that hasn't happened here, of course, but that is just part of the story that Buick did a lot more than stick a turbo on the V6. These cars were high performance front to back, heavy duty suspension front and rear sway bar, big disc brakes up front, large drums in the back. And I love this at the tail, the subtle trunk spoiler, which actually does contribute some downforce at speed, but just all blacked out like this. What a beautiful car. And this was pretty much the ultimate muscle car of the 1980s. You would say if you were a Mopar guy, this was the street Hemi of the 1980s. And pretty much as quick as a street Hemi, stock to stock. Under the trunk, we see just everything's original, including the original type trunk mat. Yeah, and as it was, no rust here. This is a really solid car, a little bit of dust, whatever. And here's the mini spare with the small rim, narrow rim for getting home at 35 miles an hour. But again, all of it here, very original, nice original presentation. Not restored because it's not needed. A very, very clean original car. I love how it has the equipment sticker here with all of the turbo codes, everything else, air conditioning, all those things present and accounted for. So that's the tip of the iceberg on the story of this 1987 end of the line Grand National. Keep in mind that High Octane Classics does finance cars with as little as 10% down. They will deliver the car to your office, your school, your garage, you choose. And they do consider trade-ins, late models, other classics, you name it, they'll consider it. And of course, High Octane is entering its 12th year of business and they're growing and they're always looking for qualified service and sales people. If you think you can join the team, well, give them a call. And as always, High Octane is selling lots of cars, and yeah, they're also buying lots of cars. So if you have 1 or 50 to sell, give High Octane Classics a call to either join the team or sell your car. The number is 508-859-4515. And again, to learn more about this 87 Grand National, visit the High Octane Classics website.